Anyway, to our last little piece of business here, news-wise. Our boy, one of the a friend to Packers fans and Packers players all around the world, Mr. Jay Cutler. Not only has he retired from the NFL, he has confirmed that he will join the Fox broadcasting team next year.
Sweet Jesus.
And if there's one thing that I would have said, Jay Cutler, what would he be good for after football? He went to Vanderbilt. I think he's a pretty smart guy. You know, he could do a lot of things. Broadcasting is not one of those things. I don't.
For anybody out there who has never listened to Jay Cutler speak, he's one of the most, how do I describe it, lethargic speakers I've ever had the displeasure of listening to for any length of
Bill
time.
Belichick on Xanax.
And he's just so sleepy. And God knows, since he's on Fox, he's going to call a Packers game.
Oh, that'll be fun. Maybe I guarantee.
I mean, so now that means we've got Troy Aikman calling Packers games. We got Jay Cutler calling Packers games. What are they going to do? Is Barry Sanders going to call some Packers games?
Well, I guarantee you, if Jay Cutler tries to throw it to Pam Oliver down on the field, a Packers player will intercept it. So we don't got to worry about that. Here's to you, Pam. No, Kevin King with an interception. His first career, I guarantee you, Kevin King's first career interception will come at the hands of Jay Cutler. I'm calling it now. That's my bold. It's my bold prediction.
It's just like when HaHa got drafted. I said it the night he got drafted. I can't wait to hear somebody screw up his last name and say HaHa Dix with the interception. And I swear to God, as God is my witness right now, I said it's going to be against the Bears. And sure enough, it was on Fox. And I'm wanting to say that it very well may have been Joe Buck. Stumbled over himself, said, "Ha Dix intercepts Jay Cutler." And it's one of the best things I've ever heard.
Oh, man. Jay Cutler getting intercepted, period. But, you know, a little side note to this, with him joining the Fox broadcast team in an interview, I think it was on a Chicago radio show, and there is some validity to this notion. Believe it or not, him and Aaron Rodgers are quite friendly, I would say.
They are actually very good friends.
Yeah. But when he was asked if Aaron Rodgers happens to go down, God forbid, if the Packers call, would he join the team and play quarterback for the Packers? His response was something along the lines of, I don't see that happening. Now, that could be, I don't see Aaron Rodgers getting hurt, or that you could take that as he doesn't see him joining the Packers. I take it as either way. I don't see that happening in any scenario. I'd rather see Smoking Joe out there,
but
slinging.
He didn't say no, so you're saying there's a chance.
Why are you doing this?
Jay Cutler in a Packers uniform would spend an entire game throwing footballs to our defense on the sideline.
He would still find a way to somehow get intercepted by a Packers defender. Still. So
yeah. I mean, how do you think it would be for him walking into that locker room with all those defenders and all the shit they've talked?
That would almost just be, I'd almost be okay with that if they like brought him in as like a camp body or something. Just to see. That would be the year that the Packers should have Hard Knocks. That would be the year for Hard Knocks, I would think.
Oh, it could be gold.
But yeah, I don't know. Jay Cutler as a broadcaster, not on my list of things Jay Cutler would be good at outside of, well, he wasn't really good at football either, but, once he quit football, things he'd be good at. I don't know. I think Jay Cutler would have had a much better chance at having a decent career if he would have stayed in Denver. Because he wasn't too damn bad in Denver once he started. But once he got to
Yeah, I
Chicago, it was
agree.
almost just like the bite of black
I
plague got him once he got to Chicago. I don't know. But
I don't know what. You know what? That city probably killed him. I mean, they're overrun with rats right now.
I mean, they haven't been for the past, whatever, how many years. I hate Chicago. I
Well, I mean, if they have, it's just now making the news.
not only do I don't like Chicago for their sports teams. The Bears are fuck the Bears. The Blackhawks are the worst NHL in terms of fans. I've actually been to a Predators Blackhawks game in Nashville and actually had encounters with some Blackhawks fans, and they're the most obnoxious assholes in the world. Um, the
They're
yeah,
like Cowboys fans.
but luckily we swept their asses out of the playoffs this year. But
Oh, don't even start on the Cubs.
yeah,
God,
yeah.
don't
If,
even
if
start
there's
on
any
the
more people that
Cubs.
want to jump on that bandwagon, go right ahead. But good for them.
I already hate baseball, and
Good
that
for
makes
them.
me
They
hate
won a
it more.
championship. It took them, 10 years or something like that to do it. But it happens. Um,
Good for them, my ass. I wanted the Indians to win just
exactly.
so Chicago would suffer.
I was cheering for the Indians too because the Indians have had a rough go of it as well over the years.
You know what? They probably would have won if they let Charlie Sheen throw the
That's a good
first
point.
pitch.
That's a very good point. That's a
But
very
that's
good
another
point.
story.
But I've actually been to Chicago. When I was playing with my band, I would say a few years back, but it's been about 7 years or so. When I was in Chicago, I was actually playing at this dank ass bar in downtown Chicago, and we were playing our set. And after our set, we were sitting at the bar, and they had the TV on. And it was actually during the Packers Falcons game in the playoffs, all those years back when the Packers won the Super Bowl, and they just blew the Falcons out of the building, and everybody in the
Oh yeah, yeah. After John Abraham tried to do the belt,
Yeah.
and Aaron Rodgers
Yeah.
threw it back at
Great
him.
game. Great memory watching that game in a bar full of Bears fans and being the only
Yeah.
Packers fan there. Oh, that was lovely. But as a city, that place is a shithole, and that's just how I feel about that. Not a fan. The traffic is terrible. The
I
people
mean,
are rude.
you know-
You gotta pay to park everywhere. Even
Oh,
if you're
God.
staying in an apartment, you have to pay to park. It's the McDonald's. We were just a broke little rock and roll band trying to eat something. So we were like, well, McDonald's, they got a dollar menu. So we drive to McDonald's, $10 to park in the McDonald's parking lot. I promise, once we get into McDonald's, there's no dollar menu. A double cheeseburger, which here in Kentucky would be on the dollar menu for $1. In Chicago, it was over $4 for a double cheeseburger at McDonald's.
Good God.
It's a place I will never visit again, and I have no sympathy for them, the Bears, the Blackhawks, or any of the fans or the people of Chicago. Here's to you, Chicago. But okay,
Right?
we'll move on.